Hello. One second, I'm gonna turn that down. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right. Hi, everyone. It's 9:03 on Thursday. Um, okay, I went through the, when people register, sometimes people have questions and sometimes people don't. So there weren't any questions to kind of focus my talk today. These calls I really don't. I kind of set an intention. What should we talk about today? And then I just kind of feel it and wait for it to come. And the only thing that's been coming over and over in my mind is because there's so many people going through so many different experiences right now, good, bad, tough, rough. Some people are just getting fed up because it's just okay, one thing after another. I think the bottom line that I just keep feeling is don't give up. And, when we say don't give up, people can get frustrated with that. And, what do you mean don't give up? I'm tired. I'm done. I don't want it anymore. This is too tough. Well, what we're in right now is tough, obviously. So before we get into that talk, unless someone has a question that wants to divert this, because I'm pretty open today, we are just going to talk about kind of how to continue with your self growth and in any way that works for you, because we're all very unique. So this call is a healing call. It is available to anyone. It's free. I do 3 times a month. I've been doing it for 2 years now. There's recordings on YouTube if you want to replay them. The energy that comes through, actually, it's like with anything, because there's no time or space. If you were not able to make the live call and you watch the replay, the energy's still there because it's there because there's no time or space. And I know it can be a little confusing how that works. And really everything's just happening now. So the cool thing of that is as you heal in this lifetime, this is the most important lifetime. I know there's a lot of people that like to talk about past lives and how am I correcting this. When you're correcting this lifetime, you're correcting everything. So you're kind of rewriting your past, rewriting the future, and you're healing. And all forms of us are kind of clapping. And again, a little confusing, but just know working on yourself now has tremendous ripple effects all over. So with that being said, work on yourself, work on yourself, work on yourself as much as possible, and notice the subtle changes. So this call itself will have a little bit of a talk. I know I always say a little bit and then I kind of go off on this thing and realize that time has just went by very quickly. But we do want to get in at least half an hour of healing. But just so you know, the healing energy starts right away. It actually starts about half an hour before the call starts. I can feel it lighting up my house. I can feel the energy coming through. And I always set the intention, may this energy get anyone who's attending the call, who registered for the call. And then we always broaden it to their family, friends, their homes, their pets. And then we broaden it yet again. And we just keep getting it bigger and bigger and bigger. So once the healing's starting, really we're all contributing. And that's why group healing is so powerful. Sure, I may start it, but the way I can almost envision it is this energy is coming through. It's not my energy that's coming through. I tap into an energy, it flows through, and it starts kind of going through everyone, whether we're in the same room or we're in different locations, and it kind of swirls it into one beautiful, conscious, loving energy that knows exactly what we need. So as we're all contributing, you want to also be on the receiving end of it, because the receiving part is like the really good part. Now, some of us will receive a little bit and some of us are going to be big receivers, and that's really about how we allow ourselves to receive. A lot of that has to do with self-worth, self-love. Back in the day, I was a big sender of love and light because, people would say, when you weren't your best, how were you able to send it? Well, I've always gotten out of the way. So Brenda, here I am. 12 years ago, 13 years ago was a mess, but I could tap into this energy and send it because it wasn't my energy. So I would just remove myself, remove the Brenda, and allow the energy to come through. Now, as I've cleared a lot of my patterns away and self-worth, I really can get out of the way and allow for more to come through. Anytime you are working with energy work, you get stronger and stronger every time you do it. So I know there's a lot of people who are into energy work and starting to do Reiki, and they're like, oh, I've been practicing and then I stop. Well, try to do it every single day, because I'm just going to like explain it in kind of easy terms. We all have a connection to divine source. We all do. And it starts off like, just think of it as the thinness of a hair strand, right? As you start to build it, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So now you're bringing in so much beautiful energy and you can send it out. So it's practice. And as you're doing that, you're also clearing yourself. You're clearing your own issues, your own self-worth issues, all those things that kind of bog us down. And you become a stronger, we have a stronger connection. So then you start to hear the light within you more than the darkness. We all have duality. We all have light and darkness. So when we attend these types of calls, just come in with an open mind. You may not understand it completely. And I remember when I first started this type of stuff, I remember I was training with Dr. B, and she was also helping me. And I used to tell her, I don't know what the heck is happening. I don't understand it in a mental capacity at all. But there's something in my heart that tells me this is right. So a lot of us join these types of calls, not really understanding why am I here? I don't understand what's happening, but there's something in our heart. Our higher selves have brought us to something like this because our higher selves want us to heal, because we're in this beautiful time on Earth, on this beautiful planet, the ascension process, where we are starting to heal as a human race, as a human consciousness, but it's really a personal healing. It's a personal journey, and no one can force you to do it. You're going to do it at your own pace. It's really your higher self that is bringing you along to where it knows you should be. Some of us want to speed it up, and we can kind of speed it up through intentions and affirmations. But at the same time, we can't let go of the things we came here to learn. So although I know a lot of people know my journey, which has been like constant and going at it for 13 years, and people's like, well, people who know me well will say, Brenda, why didn't you just give up? Like, why do you continue? I said, because I came here obviously to learn, and I had lots of self-worth issues, and every time an experience comes into my life, it is a beautiful orchestra of beautiful things that came together to put me through what I would say a test to see if I now can pass it. And, I would fail it and fail it and fail it. But lately, I've been doing a lot better. So now I know when I'm in self-worth, what does that mean? So they'll throw another test my way, and I'm generally now recognizing them and passing them. But some of the lessons they were giving me or 22 years old, and I kept failing them, thinking I was doing the right thing. But then now that I've kind of come on the other side of a lot of my patterns of lack of self-love and self-worth, I now see like, wow, that's what the universe was trying to see, to put me first, to take care of me. And then as I do them, it's kind of like I get a check mark and I get to go to the next level. I look at life like it's a video game. And if anyone's ever played video games, you kind of meet one level, but while you're working through a level, you get multiple chances, and okay, your person or whatever dies in there, doesn't really die, and you start over and over and over. And you can do the same level many times, but once you meet that level, you jump to the next level. So it's like a video game. So I always think, okay, here I am, I'm moving along in this game of life, experiencing life, going through my issues, finding out what's going on, figuring out my own patterns, really looking in. So when we admit we have issues, and sometimes you get clients coming in and just say, I don't know what's wrong with me, I'm just a total mess. And we don't always have to understand what's wrong with us. And I used to use that term. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just know I'm a mess. And some people go, yeah, I agree. Yes, you are a mess. And it used to kind of hurt because I'm like, well, don't agree with me, lie to me and tell me I'm okay. But, it's the truth that made me look within and look deeper within, look deeper within and pull things out and pull things out. So when you're on this healing journey, meditation's really great. Now, I'm going to give a little plug for meditation because I hated meditation when I first started it because someone said you need to meditate 15 minutes a day. I could not stop my mind for 30 seconds, never mind 15 minutes. I had crazy thoughts coming in all the time. But when you really start to realize a lot of those thoughts that come in that you're no good, or the stories that play, or why did you let this person do this, or you're never going to get there, or why even bother, or you're not going to succeed, that's not really you. We have duality. We have the light within us, and we have the darker side of humanity. And all that running in the background wants you to stay small. So you don't think you're powerful. You can't amount to anything. It's all lies. It's false. It's not true. And you just have to get to the other side of that and realize what's being said is not true. We are all magnificent, powerful beings. We truly are. And it's getting rid of that resistance so we can be the true magnificent person that we already are. We want it to shine through. So when we do things like energy work, these group healings, reading a book, a self-help book, meditation, all those things are chipping away at the resistance. But what's very interesting is when you're going to make a shift, a positive shift, you're going to have that part of you that really talks you out of it. Don't attend that call. Don't read that book. Don't meditate. Because I'm going to call it the ego, but there's different names for it. It doesn't want to lose control. So it's going to raise up and scream at you in ways like wake you up at night and have you in fear. Oh, I know why I'm in fear. I'm reading this book. And then you start getting all these crazy thoughts that this self-help book that is so great for you is not good for you, because you're kind of almost battling between what you know is good for you and what you're being told is not good for you. When you start to really step back and see it for what it is, it becomes very predictable. I know exactly when I'm going to make a big positive shift, because that I think someone recently told me that I'm going so deep to those core issues that they say it's the super ego yelling at me. So right now I'm being screamed at for the last 3 weeks because I keep pushing forward yet again to hit the next level, because I'm going to do that video game. I'm just going to keep going until the day I pass away, because I love self-work. Because when I get and I clear something, I always feel lighter. I feel like so connected, so inspired, so in love with life. I love that feeling. And then, kind of becomes my new baseline. So it's like, okay, I love this feeling. I'm in it. It's great. And then once I get used to that new vibration, that new alignment, I'm going to the next level. So I'm a little bit almost very focused on me, because why not? I've learned that I matter, and as I matter and I can hold the light, I can help people figure out their magnificence, because we all are magnificent. And the light, when I say the light on this planet is growing every day, yes, we do have so much support pushing humanity forward. But when we talk about the light expanding on the planet, it's when somebody's heart on this beautiful earth opens up. So it's like a popcorn effect. And I'm getting calls from a lot of people who are new into energy work, or new into just like, okay, my life, something's wrong with it, I want to change. Sometimes we get woken up by a sickness, a death from someone, some other life-changing moment. Sometimes it's a dream or just a realization, what the heck am I doing? And when you have that, it gets really confusing, because there's so many avenues for self-work. Really, just go with what feels good for you. There is not a one-way street for everyone. My journey has been long and tedious, but I had a lot there. And I understand that not everyone's like that. Sometimes I get clients who come in 2 sessions and they're just on this beautiful new road to happiness. And I like, wow. And then there's others like me, it's like stripping out a layer, stripping out this, stripping out stuff. And so you guys get like, I've had enough. Why is it so hard for me? But my journey is my journey, your journey is your journey, and there's nothing wrong with your journey. It's no one's been in your shoes. No one knows what you've been through in this lifetime or other lifetimes, or what you came here to learn. We all come here with our own experiences we need to go through. So just try to enjoy the journey. And I know it gets to be much and is exhausting. I just want to show, I guess I just started talking, so that kind of happened. So I apologize that we just ran into it. I'm going to just show you just a picture that kind of came in my head, and I just want to share it. Give me one sec here. That's the beginning one, and I'm going to go, I think it's to the next one. Okay, this is how I can explain healing. We have a lot of things happening in our thought patterns, and they come from many different things. So some of it's karma, past life stuff. Sometimes it's traumas, experiences that we had as children don't even remember. Sometimes it's ancestral stuff, family constellation issues. Sometimes they're vows or oaths or contracts we made in this lifetime, past lives, all this stuff. Sometimes it's bad energy people send our way. That happens, unfortunately, as well. So there's lots of things, or cords and things like that, love cords, things that sometimes they're not love cords, sometimes they're recordings that are done other ways, energetic. But think of it as just resistance. There's lots of resistance blocks stopping us from being our magnificent selves. And I put it as a big cloud in our ways of our thinking. When you start to chip away at this, the cloud, that darkness, that dense energy, the darkness within us, because all humanity has it, starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So sometimes magic, well, all the time magic's happening in your field. Things are being chipped away, but sometimes we don't feel it or see any change at the physical level. And this is where people get so frustrated and they want to give up. So they're just gonna keep that image as you're chipping away at what you need to do to feel better. And the thing is, let's say it's gotten smaller and smaller, but you're not noticing a big change in your reality. This is where you want to look for small itty bitty changes. So the person at work who's not nice to you smiles at you. You're in a grocery store, instead of seeing people who are uptight and angry, you're seeing people who are lighter and happier. Someone who you really like, might invite you out where they would have never done that. Because as your energy starts to change, people react to your energy. They react to what you're sending out. So if I have I am worthless running in the background because of childhood trauma, well, people who want to treat me nice can't. Or I'm going to energetically keep those people away. So I'm giving these vibes out, these energetic readings where someone nice coming is going to walk away, but this mean person who wants to hurt me easily walks into my life because my vibration of low self-esteem, I don't matter, go ahead and hurt me, resonates with that person wanting to hurt. So we're on the same wavelength. But as I start to heal and start to have better, sending out different energy, sending out different signals, now what happens is those people who want to hurt me don't really see me, and that starts to allow nicer things to happen, nicer people to come into my life. But what we want to do is really notice the small changes and say, hey, you know what? Even you can even notice a change within yourself. Today, I was more positive than I was the last week. Something's changing. Or I'm at more peace now than I've ever been. My anxiety's melting away somehow. I don't understand how it's happening, but at some level, I am feeling more at peace. So some people, when they start working on themselves, notice the small things. Some people get actually less headaches. It's because actually that's one thing that I had. I used to have tremendous headaches. I used to be on medication for massive migraines. My headaches started to lighten up. My body started to heal. And I I start to think more positive. And another thing is I started to use more positive words instead of waking up saying, oh my gosh, here's another day I have to go through. God help me. I would say today's going to be a better day. Things are changing, and I would be thankful for every change. And I'd say, oh my gosh, like I slept better last night. I didn't wake up at 3 in the morning in complete anxiety. So I started to really notice, and as I noticed, I would be thankful and I would appreciate the changes. And things really started to snowball, because when the universe reads your vibration and you give permission, I am ready to heal. And that's another thing that I know there's a lot of little points, but we want to give permission. I'm ready to heal. I give permission to heal. So think of it like this. Here we are, we're told we're not powerful, and okay, when you grow up in some religions, like, oh, you can't pray to God directly, you have to go through this channel, you're not powerful enough, things like that. And, that's how I believed. But I knew something in my heart when I was in a forest and I would talk to the trees and see the energy. I knew there was more to this than I was being told, but I would suppress it because, my belief system from what I was taught would kind of jam what I believe. So I had that internal struggle of my own. But as I started to really fall into energy work, and it was really one day at my worst day, just laying on the floor and saying, God, listen, I'm ready to leave the planet. I'm done. My body's failing. I'm very unhappy. Take me now. And if I'm not supposed to go, then please show me my next step. What am I supposed to do? Because I'm a mess. And I think I used that word, I am a mess. I need help, and I surrendered. I just realized that this little Brenda, does not understand what the heck is going on, and I'm asking for a higher power to come in. And the very next day is when my journey started. It was like I got into, like, I don't know. I remember it was my boss pissed me off. I quit my job, got a new job, this. It was all just one thing after another, and it just momentum was going. And I just, okay, I'm on this. I'm here still. My body's starting to heal. I got into energy work. Things really started to change. I said, okay. And that's where I just kind of followed my heart and decided to come. And now, look, this is where I am, feeling much more happier. But again, life is a journey. And I used to be in a lot of depression, 3 weeks, but no one knew. I would call what I had smiling depression. Very happy on the outside, very upset on the inside. Now I'm happy on the outside and the inside. It was a long journey for me, and I'm still chipping away at some stuff that come up. And I appreciate that things come up, because that is whenever a time and experience that is a little uncomfortable comes my way. I think I actually get excited now. I go, wow, what am I going to learn from this very uncomfortable experience? Because every experience is really neutral, right? I can put a positive spin to it. I can put a negative spin. So even if it's a negative experience, I can put a positive spin, because I'm going to learn something from it. I'm going to learn from how I behave. I'm going to learn from the interaction. I'm going to learn, was I triggered? Anybody who's triggering you is giving you a reflection of what's inside you. So we're creating all these beautiful relationships, whether they're good or they're bad, because it's a reflection of what's happening within us. So when someone says, oh, every time I go to a job, there's always someone there that pisses me off, and then I leave and I go somewhere else, it's the same pattern. Well, that pattern is a beautiful pattern. It's telling you, hey, look at yourself. You got this pattern. If you acknowledge it and start to work on breaking it, it's going to be released. And then the next year, you don't even have to leave your job, because you're going to notice once you break that pattern, things in your workplace are just going to run a lot more smoother. So you can look at life as difficult. I'm a victim. Life is so hard. Or you can look at it as, this is a beautiful planet where I came to learn. I am not a victim of this planet. I'm creating my own reality, and every day I'm going to do a better job at it. And sometimes, yeah, we don't do such a good job. And sometimes we go to bed saying, oh my gosh, I really messed up today. But that's where you forgive yourself. We're human, right? And you kind of scrape yourself back up and try again, and keep going and keep plugging away, because with every experience, every learning lesson, you're getting rid of that darkness that's around us. And that darkness that causes unease causes disease. So if your body's hurting, and mine was very sick, I had like really bad kidney issues back in the day. I didn't even do Reiki. I was just doing beam therapy with Dr. Beatty, which was pulling out subconscious traumas and all this stuff I was holding in my field without even knowing it was there. And as it released layer by layer by layer, my body just started to heal, because when your system's able to like get rid of that resistance and block and work, well, what happens is it works to the point where it can heal in the body, mind, heart, all that stuff. Just it starts to, but just give yourself some patience, give yourself time. It wasn't overnight where I just magically got better. Some people do, which is beautiful, but we're all different. So I like the fact that I had a long, tedious, crazy journey where sometimes I thought I was going to lose my mind. And back in the day when I was doing this, it wasn't really known. Well, at least in my circle of friends, this stuff wasn't really as known as it is now. So sometimes I would just put my kids to bed, come into the basement, and just like cry and like, oh, what's wrong with me? But it was all those that suppressed energy, the sadness was coming out, and it was very uncomfortable at that time. I was one of those people who had like would actually throw up after an energy session because I had so much stuff to release. And there are clients that will get sick after an energy session, but I always say look at that as a blessing, because it's just negative energy leaving. Some people get rashes, some people just feel fine and they feel lighter, which is beautiful. After a session like today, some people will sleep so peacefully. So I get all different people email me all different things. I slept like a baby. Thank you. Other people, I was burping all night. I was very agitated. That's because the release was uncomfortable. So when you look at that and say, okay, this is the way I heal. I think we all heal our own way, but there's a consistency in your healing, and that might not be true for everyone. But I know how I feel before a session, which is very uncomfortable. I know how I feel inside during a session, and I know how I feel after a session. But after that icky feeling before, icky feeling during, icky feeling after, then I kind of go into this where everything readjusts and I feel like, wow. And that's when I get to that wow place. I'm like, okay, all that uncomfortable stuff was worth it, because I'm in this place where, wow. Or if I go through a learning lesson where something bad's happened in my life and I had to go through the emotions and the tears and whatever to release, I learned that lesson. I always think, wow, I'm glad it's over. I don't really want to repeat it, but I love that feeling afterwards. So if I had to repeat the last 13 years of my life, I would not want to do it, but I would do it over and over again to get where I am today. So is the healing journey easy? It's for some easier than others, yes. Can it be hard? Absolutely. Do you have to go on it? No, it's free will. No one can force you. And if you're in it and you're excited about it and you want to get your spouse on board, they might not be ready and you can't force them. So you can kind of like let them know what you're doing. You don't want to over talk about it because that can push them away, or they go, oh, not again. She's talking about it. You know, when you go to the gym, you're all excited. You want everyone to go to the gym. Well, it's just like energy work. Oh my God, I'm feeling so great. And you want everyone to do it. I've learned now. I don't sit there. I don't promote it. I don't do that, because the right people, well, not right people, people who are ready will find it, you know, when they're on their own soul's journey. So go at your own pace. Take what you can. Take the information as you want to digest it. Not everything I say is going to be your truth. So always run everything you hear through your heart, because there's a lot of people that teach a lot of things. And sometimes I'm like, okay, that's just a load of crap. And they have like a huge audience, but if it resonates with the people listening, then so be it. That's good. But for me, I'm not buying it. I'm leaving. So I'm not going to go and tell them, hey, what you're saying sucks. No, I'm just going to let it be, because it's not resonating with my truth. That's all. So you kind of find the things that resonate with you, the books that resonate with you. And I think I'm going to put out a big list of books that helped me along the way. And some, oh my gosh, I read like many times over and over. And some I've read once, great, don't feel the need to read it again. But I'll give you a list that if something, resonates with you, then, pull it into your field, read it and see what it is. Sometimes when there's a book, and I'm reading a series now, which is phenomenal, but very hard. I think I'm on book 6 and I'm reading it, I think for the 7th time. And it's actually about self-worth. And it's really like ticking some stuff in there, going very deep. I'm like, oh, I don't like the feeling of this. So I'll read it and read it and read it and read it and read it because it's chipping away at resistance. And then I'll set it aside and read it again. So that's kind of how when I feel I'm reading something or I'm listening to something, and there's a part of me that says, don't listen to this, don't listen to this. That's when I listen to it. Because there's something inside me that says, Brenda, stop growing, because we're going to lose total control of you. And that's the darkness within me. And it's saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Well, that's when I say, no, I'm going to do it. And then I will send some positive energy to myself and say, okay, let's just go through this, take some deep breaths, and I get over the resistance to move forward. And I know some people say I make it look easy. It's not easy. I just make it look easy because I'm here, I'm in a good place, but nobody really knows the crap I do behind the scenes. I'm a big affirmation person. I love affirmations. Affirmations are different than goals. A goal is something that you're setting, like, okay, this is where I want to be. An affirmation is something you say that you've already obtained it. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I was overweight and here's my goal. I want to lose 50 pounds in a year, let's say, right? That's a goal. But now with an affirmation, I'm going to say, every day I'm eating healthier, I'm feeling better, and my weight is just melting away. Every day I'm feeling lighter. Every day my clothes are fitting better. It's happening now. So as I'm sending out that vibe to the universe, I am healthy, my body's strong. Oh, and when I eat this cookie, I'm going to love eating this cookie, and I'm only going to take what's beneficial from the cookie, and my body's going to release everything else because I don't need it. So then I eat my cookie guilt-free, knowing that the universe, my body, is going to accept what's good from it and release the rest. So I never get upset with myself if I eat something because I know my body's going to do what it needs to do. I'm also going to be releasing any blocks that are stopping me from losing weight. So sometimes we don't lose weight because there's an energetic block, a belief system hiding in the background. So I could say, you know what? I'm not sure exactly what's hiding in the background that's not letting me lose weight. Maybe it's the fear of being thin because I was sexually assaulted a long time ago. So now if I get too thin, that fear is that might happen again. So that's in the field. Or maybe, back in the day, a grandmother told me that being thin was not safe. That's a possibility. I don't know exactly what's there. Some of us do, some of us don't. So as I'm going through this healing process and I'm going to reclaim my body to a healthy state, I'm asking the universe, I'm giving permission for my guides and the loving beings around me to work on things that my mental mind doesn't understand. A lot of this healing that we do is happening in the field that we don't understand mentally. So we're just handing over permission. I give permission for you to work on whatever's holding me back from losing weight, from understanding, I'm just trying to think. Sometimes I want to learn something new. I have mental blocks. So from stopping me from thinking I'm not smart enough, or, from having a good relationship. Perhaps there's some blocks. I'm not good enough to have a decent man come in my life or a decent woman come in my life. So whatever those blocks are, let's chip them away together. I give permission for the universe to work on me. But you can use your own words that resonate with you. But an affirmation is something you're sending out there. I'm feeling great. My body's working great. I'm getting healthier and healthier every day. If I have an illness, every day I'm feeling better. Every day my cells are getting excited and they're healing. So you talk to yourself. You talk to your body. You talk to your guides. Your guides love you. Give them permission to come into your life and help you because they know what's going on with you more than we know. So that's just kind of handing over, surrendering, and saying, help me, I give permission. So give that permission. As we get into the healing today, I want to stop talking because I just realized the time. Give permission to say, hey, universe, God, angels, whatever you want to call it, it's all coming from the same beautiful place. It is a intelligent, loving energy that wants us all to heal. So you just talk to it and say, listen, I don't know exactly what's going on with me, why I'm sick, why I'm depressed, why I'm this, but I know what I'm feeling. I don't like it. So today, I set the intention that this healing session is going to start releasing a lot of the crap that's there that I don't understand, because it's in my way of healing and I want to heal. Now, what happens in the healing session is whatever is ready to release will release, because it has to happen safely and systematically. All that's happening in the healing session today is I can create a healing environment. It just happens naturally. That's what's happening. But I'm not the one healing you. You're healing yourself. Your higher self is taking whatever it needs to heal whatever you're ready to let go of at this time. And it can be something, a big release. It can be a small release. It can be a percentage of a trauma. It can be 1,000 things happening in all different areas. It doesn't really matter that you know. Just trust whatever's happening is meant to happen, and you're giving permission for it to happen. I find that is why we can heal so fast if we give permission to just say, hey, listen, I trust, know, and believe that whatever's ready to release today is going to release safely. It's going to release so I benefit, because I know I am loved by this beautiful, energy that's around helping humanity. And that knowing, that trusting and giving permission allows it to just pull away. It's almost like there's a layer created. We're going to pull out that layer today, take it off the earth plane because you no longer need it. Whatever leaves today doesn't come back. But the next layer will then present when you're ready. And we're all ready at our own time, our own timetable. Again, you can kind of speed things up by talking to your guides. I used to ask for quantum shifts and I would get them. But when I asked for a quantum shift and a healing was so strong, it was like I had the flu afterwards. I needed a few days to just rest as everything. So I don't ask for quantum shifts personally for myself because I have to be busy each day. I can't lie in bed restructuring everything. So, you have the ability to ask. I would never ask on behalf of a client. That's something you can ask for. What I do ask in these sessions is that this beautiful energy, which is already working on everyone, by the way. So although I'm talking, they're saying, just don't worry, they're doing the work. The beautiful thing is whatever's meant to happen for you is happening. It's going to happen, but you can speed up the process by just saying, hey, I'm ready, I surrender. So you're stopping the resistance, because we resist the healing at some level. And if you're more in an open space to say, yes, I'm ready to heal, yes, I give permission, they can work on you a little deeper than if you're fighting it. So sometimes I say, if you fall asleep during a healing, allow that falling asleep, because that just means you're in the way. So the resistance is there, and they're going to put you into a nice drift off sleep so they can work on you to release that crap that's holding you back. Our minds are very powerful. So when we put up resistance, it's like, okay, it slows down things, right? So with this healing today, I'm going to put on some music. If you like my music, great, listen to it. If you don't, just shut off the volume. You don't have to listen to my music. You can listen to your own music. You can listen to nothing. You can even shut off the screen and just say, okay, I'm just going to shut off the screen. I'm going to close my eyes, not listen to the music, and just allow the energy to work. You can leave your eyes open. Personally, I like to close my eyes. If you drift off to sleep, go ahead. Drink lots of water. Afterwards, when I'm done, I play the singing bowl. Feel free to just hang up at that point. I may say a few words. I may not, because we're running late. And just sleep and enjoy that, that love, and just stay in that state. But if you have to get up, take care of your kids or whatever, that's okay too. drink lots of water. You're going to be thirsty for 3, 4, 5 days. This energy is going to continue working. So tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'll say, hey, thanks. I'm still allowing this healing to happen. I'm drinking my water. When I go to the bathroom, I'm releasing toxins. So that's fabulous as well. Any questions before we start? I'm just going to drink my water. If anyone has a question, please use the chat box and I'll answer it. I don't want to drink all of it because I didn't bring a lot and I'm going to need that. So again, once I'm done, the music bowl will go on. Feel free to just hang up at that time. A replay of this will come out and you can always listen to it again if you want. And again, there's nothing you need to do except give permission, get comfortable, and just allow the love to come through. All right, everyone, thanks for joining. And just going to grab a song here and just let it play. I'm going to share the music so it comes out a little clearer. I'm not going to talk out loud on this one. I do talk to my guides during the session, so if you see my mouth moving, that's all that is. But I'm just going to keep it quiet and play music. All right, everyone, enjoy. There's no questions. We're ready to go. If the music is okay. All right, no one's saying no, so we're good. All right, here we go. Okay, everyone. I'm going to leave on that note. That was a very powerful session. I kind of actually have a lot of head pressure happening here right now. So I'm just going to let that diffuse. If you're feeling head pressure, it's just the processing of energy leaving. Just drink lots of water. If you're feeling a little bit dizzy, you can stomp your feet on the ground to bring you back to grounding. That was a beautiful session, very intense from my standpoint. Whoa, drink lots of water. That's my main thing. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or text me. I probably won't be available for the next 10 minutes, but I'll be available afterwards. All right, everyone. Any questions before we go? I'll just hang on here just in case. I'm just gonna drink some water. Okay. All right, you're very welcome. Oh, the bunny came in through today. Nice. Yeah, that was a pretty intense one. We did have a portal, the Lionsgate portal that went through on the 8th of August. Sometimes there's remnants of that working through us as well. So, wow, that one just, I'm spinning from that. I'm speechless. So, with that, everyone, have a peaceful night. Drink lots of water. I did set the intention for everyone to have a peaceful sleep. But again, if you're a little anxious or irritable or burping, just allow it to happen. Say, hey, this is a fabulous healing. Whatever needs to happen happens. You can send, it's always about intention. You can always ask your guides to say, hey, work on me, but give me a peaceful sleep. And in most cases it does work, but sometimes it may not, and that's because you might need to actually go through that, and that's okay. Just accept it for what it is. Oh wow, that's beautiful. So there's some private messages coming through, and there's some everyone messages. So you're all very welcome, and keep that connection and keep that. Just keep working on yourself in whatever way feels good. You're all very powerful, beautiful beings, and then you are love beyond belief. All right, everyone, have a peaceful sleep. Have a good night. Sleep well. All right, take care. And we'll see you on the next one, which I can't remember when that is at this point. I'll send the replay out with the information on the next sessions. All right, everyone, have a good night. Thanks.